Speaking of going on a run, I love this particular paisano who coaches the Philadelphia Eagles. More video is being shown of him after wins in other teams' stadiums in the tunnel. Most specifically, this one is after the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's head coach Nick Sirianni walking off the field. That's the head coach. That's the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Love him.
That is the head coach. Run that one more time. That's the head coach of the Philadelphia. You see Big Dahn sitting next to him. Dawn's team security. He's like, here we go again. Yeah. Dawn heard going in. He said these Chiefs fans were very chirpy on the way into Sirianni. He knew on the way out that Nick wasn't just going to go quietly into that Kansas City night. No. Walking off the field. You think I forgot, Sirianni says?
Hey, I don't hear anymore. Chiefs fans.
The guy in the beard right in front of him is the PR guy who's been there for like 30 years. Yeah. He's like, all right, that's not that bad. I don't hear any more shit from you Chiefs fans. Okay, not bad. And then, see ya! Yeah, come on, Nick. Couldn't we have just got through this entire thing? I love him. I love everything about him. I love that they're winning. Now, obviously, whenever he starts his entire campaign as the Eagles head coach with the whole less stinky, more athlete takeover-y press conference, we think, oh, this guy's a big dumb dipshit.
Yeah.
Then they go on to have success, so he's allowed to be himself fully and transparently all the time. What a treat. What a joy. What a guy I would love to go play football for, AQ.
I mean, that city embraces him, too. They love him there. The players love him. Just the energy that he brings every single week with the press conferences, with everything, it's incredible to watch.
What do you think he went on to say afterwards as he was walking in the locker room, Coach?
Probably just something like, hey, listen, no one thinks we can win, even though, we're 9-1 every week. It's, the Philadelphia Eagles, they look like shit again. They just barely squeak by. Guess what? I said it time and time again, O-line, D-line, Howie. We go into other people's houses, we piss on their rug, then we take a shit on the rug as well, and then we rub their faces in, okay? That's the Philadelphia Eagle way. That's the Nick Sirianni way. And then as I'm leaving, everywhere I go, it's just one of those, see ya!
Yeah, that was awesome.
The thing that's awesome about him too, though, is like we always talk about like players having chips on their shoulders, but I'm pretty sure he was on the Chiefs staff when Andy Reid first got the job and then fired everyone. And then we saw the stuff with like Frank Reich last year. Like he remembers all this stuff, Like I think he is still building on that first press conference. Like he remembers everything everyone says, and then just any little piece of motivation he can use to put a chip on his own shoulder. Like he still does that, and I feel like even though some coaches might do that, like they're not doing shit like that after games ever. You never see that.
His team seeing him do that, they just have to laugh their asses.
Gotta love it.
Did you hear Nick?
That was
he was saying, I don't hear you anymore.
That was Coach?
Yeah, that was. Remember what he said the last time was like, what was he saying in that last video when he was walking out of there? I forget, he was really
dropping F-bombs.
Like actually talking shit, this guy. Like loudly, which normally would be D lineman. We saw Deion Dawkins get into a fight in the tunnel there for Buffalo against the Jets. Maybe a corner. Corner has something going on. That's kind of their mentality. Wide receiver maybe just had a massive one. Hear them chirping a little bit. In basketball, you see the guys go down the tunnel and there's sometimes there's a little bit of happy. You never see a head coach in any sport
ever
talking shit to an entire stadium. Never. I love it. I love everything about it. And a lot of people saw his team do what they did. Most watched Monday Night Football game in 25 years or something.
Unbelievable.
29 million people watched Monday Night Football on ESPN, the Eagles and the Chiefs. Obviously, the Kelsey Bowl 2.0 after the Super Bowl that took place just a few months back. Good for them. Most watched telecasts in Super Bowl. In fact, obviously, most watched NFL regular season games since Thanksgiving 2022. Thanksgiving brings in numbers. Why? Because everybody's watching football. Shout out to football being a tag team partner of Thanksgiving, by the way. We appreciate that. Audience peaked at about 31.2 million viewers. Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli with 1.9 million viewers. The show's best in more than 2 years. Somebody should have told Mark Wahlberg that people were watching that show.
That would have helped.
He was horrendous.
He hated it.
He has a great line of clothing with Municipal. I love his prayer app, too, that he promotes.
For sure.
I love how jocked he is, the movies he makes. I watch Entourage. He is a terrible interview. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Do people tell him, hey, people are going to watch you do this? Or does he think this is all off air and then people are going to talk about the interview that happened with Mark Wahlberg?
I'm pretty sure he thought a couple parts of it were off air. He was pissed how many commercials there were.
Which, hey, speaking for the people,
Yeah,
we all agree there, Mark.
But also, someone should have just been like, hey, Mark, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. Like, you're not obligated to come on and do this with Peyton. They'll grab a quarterback, who will enjoy being on there. Like, if you don't want to do this, if you're going to sit there and just look like you have a dump in your pants, like, just don't do it.
Yeah, because you got other stuff going on.
Bingo.
He's got a golf course in the backyard. He just sold a house for 50-some million. He's got this municipal. I'm sure he's got a lot of movies going on.
Yep.
You don't have to talk to two Hall of Famers on Monday Night Football, the most watched one in the history pretty much of Monday Night Football. You don't have to be here, Marky Mark.
Is it past his bedtime? Because he normally goes to bed at like 5:30.
That is something. Maybe that was him walking in his sleep, like old buddy from Step Brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that was just him.
Brandon, yeah.
Maybe he was asleep that entire time.
That makes more sense.
Okay, so sleeping Mark Wahlberg was on Manningcast.
Okay, sure.
Okay, that's a whole different character. Then we were
Absolutely.
judging this as like an awake human being,
Right.
Who got a chance to be a part of the NFL's most watched Monday Night Football game in a long time. Congrats to all parties over there and to the NFL.
Yes.
Because they're in the middle of negotiating even more TV rights, I'd assume, with Apple and all these other platforms. So whenever they're just drawing in these numbers that people used to dream of, those numbers are reminiscent to like when there was like two things on TV at the time. People used to say, back in the day, Johnny Carson used to have 400 million people. He was the only person you were able to watch.
was it.
It was the only thing that was on TV. So now with how many different options there are, let alone entertainment-wise, but platform-wise and destination-wise and everything-wise, to be able to have your ratings for a live event continue to go up while everybody else seems to either be stagnant or going the opposite direction, and they're gaining steam in other forms of views like digital views, social views, clips views, everything like that. They're a wagon. They're always going to be, and I can't wait to hear what tomorrow is.